So today we're going to talk about the report card that every client has on you. And you're probably not even aware of it, but every client is grading you on a whole bunch of points. And we're going to discuss those points today. So today we're going to talk about giving clients who walk in a good impression of your office. And we're going to talk about the importance of creating that great impression, because it can make all the difference in the world, and I'm going to demonstrate that right now. That's better. Every client, as they walk into your office, they are actually grading you on a whole bunch of things. And something that I find useful is if you look at it as a school report card. So basically, they are grading you from everything that they see, hear, touch, and do with you. So the moment they set foot into your office, already they are grading you. So one of the things they're going to grade you on, for example, is the reception area. They're going to grade you on whether it's clean, organized, whether the colors are nice, whether it's appealing, whether it feels comfortable. All of those things will have an impact on the value they put on your services. So one of the things that I recommend that all practitioners do is take the time to build that report card and think about all of the things that a client is experiencing when they're dealing with your practice. From, like I said, the minute they walk into your office, and how does that feel? What is the feel they get when talking to your receptionist? Are they feeling welcome? Are they feeling at ease? Is the person who's sitting at the reception area able to make this person feel at ease, make them laugh, and all of those things? So then the next step will be, well, you bring them to the boardroom. They're going to judge your boardroom again. How clean is that? Do their files laying all over the place? And I still recall meeting an accountant when I was just starting out in practice, and meeting another accountant about a file that I was working on. And all I saw on the boardroom floor was files all over the place. And I couldn't help but think that one of these piles is my pile. And it does not give me a whole bunch of comfort knowing that clients walking in are actually stepping over my file to get to their chair. So you got to think about everything that the client is seeing when they get into your office. So I'll give you a few examples. The reception area, the receptionist, him or herself, the boardroom in which you're meeting them. How are you treating these clients when you first meet with them? Think about the next steps, such as how quickly are they getting their financial statements? To what extent do you make them feel at ease? How quickly are you returning their phone calls? How creative and proactive are you in servicing that client? And the list goes on and on and on. And so I've done this exercise with several practices, and usually you'll end up between 10 and 15 items on that checklist. And then once you've built that report card, then the next step would be to grade you. And say, okay, let's go back to the top of the list. Reception area, what would I grade myself? A, B, C, or F? And maybe you're going to say, well, that one is a minus. Well, what would I need to do to bring it to an A or an A plus? And odds are good there. Everything that you have on there, unless you have an A plus, has room for improvement. So the question you should ask is, first, what am I grading myself for each one of those items that I've identified as I think being important to the client? And second of all, how do I improve that score from wherever it is, the D, up to an A plus? And also be careful to try to do your best to grade this thing from the client's perspective. Because you may think, well, it looks good to me. But ask your clients, and don't be afraid of asking friends, and friends that you know will be honest with you. Okay, walk into this reception, tell me what you think. And you might be surprised of all the little things they'll notice that you don't, such as a little bit of dust on your shelves. Things like that, clients will pick up on that. And believe it or not, it could impact the perception they have of the service that you're providing. So again, going back, number one, create the report card, create all the items that you know clients will be judging you on. And then number two, and I suggest you possibly even do this with your team, grade yourself on each one of those items that you've identified from A to F. And then the next step is to say, okay, let's take a look at each one of these notes that we've given ourselves, and let's talk about how we can bring it all to an A+. And a little favor, if you could like this video, I would really appreciate it, and it would kind of be a bit more encouraging in doing more of these videos for you. Now, some of you are probably don't even have an office outside of your home. But even at that, I would give some serious consideration, because I'll be honest, I started my business out of my basement. But something I recognized early on was the importance of giving that sense of confidentiality and professionalism right off the hop. So even if you are a lone wolf working by yourself without employees and working from home, I would still make an effort to give the client every impression that this is a professional environment, so that it doesn't feel like they are moving into your house, but rather coming into an office. So to kind of describe the first office that I ever had out of my house, we had converted the basement into an office, or at least where the clients came in. So as they came in through the door, they would go straight downstairs. And once they got downstairs, we had a reception area with a filing room and my office at the back. And they never saw the rest of the house. So as soon as they stepped into my house, they had the impression they were really into an office. And I got that comment often, well, this doesn't feel like a house, it feels like an office. And that to me told me that I had succeeded in giving the client a certain comfort level, that they were not infringing on my personal living, but rather coming to an office. So the fact that you're operating from home changes nothing. They still have a report card. Now, mind you, the fact that you're working from a house and not an office on a commercial street will likely be a strike against you. So you're gonna have something in there where you're gonna get a low grade. And that low grade might be related to the comfort level in seeing you in your house versus a commercial office. Now, it's not to say that you'll get a bad grade on the other things, but just be aware of that. So something I'd like to hear from you in the comments below is whether or not you have done this exercise, and I would be interested to hear what came of it. And I know we tried that with our firm, and it was really interesting, the discussions that happened amongst our team and how there was tremendous disagreement on the note we should be giving ourselves regarding certain things that we did. So some people said, well, we deserved an A, other people deserved we deserve a D on certain aspect of our practice. So I would like to hear comments from you guys as to what you are experiencing with regards to this report card, and maybe the things that you're struggling with, but also if you have any questions about maybe certain parts of the report card that you're struggling in bringing to an A+, and you would like me to maybe do a video, how do I improve whatever part of your practice from where it is now, which is a D, bring it up to an A+, and I would be glad to do a video on that.